September is over. What? Oh my gosh, I cannot believe we have blown through September. We're gonna talk through our goals. I want you to get your goals out and figure out how you did. I'm gonna talk through mine, and then we're also gonna talk a little bit about mindset when it comes to this time of year, goals, goal achievement, goal setting, all of the things. So let's do it. Okay, so I really just want to talk about mindset. We can go through my goals here in a bit, and I know some of you enjoy going through the goals and me just being honest and sharing that with you. But before we dive into any of that, I really want to talk about mindset when it comes to goals, especially this time of year. And if you're like, what do you mean this time of year? What does that have anything to do with it? Let's be real. Most people make a yearly vision board at the beginning of the year. January 1st, they get that vision board made. They set those big goals, all of the things. And come September, come October, come November, people are either like, oh, where is that vision board again? Like, let me dust that thing off. Like, you know what I mean? Or they are rushing and they're like, oh my gosh, I haven't worked on any of these things and now I'm putting all this pressure on myself and I'm stressing out because I have to hurry up and get all this done. When am I gonna possibly get it done? All of that, right? So there's pretty much two different camps of people. A lot of people, unless you do a monthly vision board like I do now, that's how I used to be. I would make that beautiful vision board. Sometimes I would even hang it up. Usually though, it would get lost. I would not even know where it was because it would end up in a pile of papers or a binder or something somewhere. And guess what? When it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And when you aren't thinking about those goals that you've put on your vision board, you're probably not doing the work it's going to take to actually get there. So I want to encourage you and finish off this month of September with you, knowing that we have 3 months left of this year, to encourage you not to feel stressed, not to feel frustrated with yourself because maybe you haven't made the progress on the goals that you set like you had hoped you would, but instead get that vision board back out. Hopefully at this point, if you've been following me for a while, you've used my free template down in the description box. If you haven't yet, it's down there. You can get it and use it moving forward, and you make monthly vision boards too. The reason that I'm such an advocate for the monthly vision boards is because I have personally experienced how much of a difference they make in my mindset, but also in my goal achievement. So I make this really nice yearly vision board. I put all of these nice big goals thinking, okay, realistically, can I accomplish this over the course of 12 months? All of that. I have a goal setting series that I have recorded here on my channel. I also have that linked in the description box below if you want to check that out. I go through 7 different videos breaking down all the different steps of goal setting and all of that. So definitely check that out if you are interested. But I make that yearly vision board. And then the purpose of those monthly vision boards is to take little bite-sized chunks from that big yearly vision board so that you can actually take some action this month that's going to get you closer to that overall big goal that you set for yourself, right? So some of those, and we've talked about this in my other videos as well, and I want to reiterate it again today. Some of the goals might just be habits. Maybe you just want to implement some healthier habits into your day-to-day life. So those might not be some big grandiose goal that you're trying to achieve, but instead, maybe you want to wake up to your alarm. Maybe you want to drink more water. Maybe you want to eat more vegetables. Maybe you want to get outside more. Those are all things that aren't necessarily going to be measured as successful with some big goal at the end, but instead you're going to be able to reflect when you look back over the course of the year, when you look back over your month to month and you see, hey, I did get outside a lot and I did go on a lot of walks this year. Like, I'm really proud of myself. Or, hey, I have a habit where I drink a gallon of water every single day now, and that wasn't the case when I started this year, but now it's like second nature. I can't even imagine not drinking that much water, right? So some of these things are habits. Some of these things though are big goals. So at this point, I want you to get out that yearly vision board. I want you to look at it and I want you to take pen to paper and I want you to cross off anything that is impossible to achieve in the next 3 months, right? I want you to cross it off, get it out of your mind so that you are not feeling frustrated by those goals that you didn't achieve. You can add that on your goals next year. But do not, please, I beg of you, do not put pressure on yourself to try and achieve something like that you put on a yearly vision board to now achieve in 3 months. No way, that is not fair to you, and that's not any way to enjoy this life that you get to live. Instead, pen to paper, cross out all of those things that are just impossible to achieve by the end of this year. save them for later. And then go and circle anything that's either a habit you want to keep working on or a goal that you actually have maybe made some progress on, and you know with some diligence, some time, some effort, some energy over the next 3 months, you truly could achieve. Okay? So that is what I want to encourage you to do. I want you to take these steps, not beat yourself up, not feel frustrated, not be angry. I want you to feel empowered that you have the ability to cross things off. You have the ability to circle things that you still want to work on. You have the ability to review those things that you set as goals in the first place. You set that as a goal, so you have the power to remove that as a goal. And there is no shame. There is nothing that should be making you feel crosswise with yourself. You should feel proud that you are here, you are showing up, you're checking in on yourself. That's a big part of goal achievement, is the fact that you can even check in on yourself to begin with. So that is what I want you to do. That is the mindset that I want you to adopt to finish out 2023, because you deserve that. Now, let's dive into just quickly going over September and what I achieved, where I want to go from here, and the excitement that I have for these last 3 months of the year. So for me, my goals for the last couple of months have been pretty much the same. Some of them are habits, some of them are goals. I've been really realistic with myself with some of the goals where I'm like, you know what, that's just not interesting to me right now to work towards. And other months I'm like, no, we're gonna get it. Like, we're gonna get after that. So as far as my personal health journey, I have multiple goals on here about my personal health journey. Drinking a gallon of water every day is a goal of mine, and I crush that. That is like second nature to me now. Following my nutrition program, I have been doing a little bit of a gut health focused program this month, and then I went on vacation, and I didn't put that pressure on myself to necessarily stick with that or make my family go to restaurants that would for sure have things that I could eat in order to meet the needs of that gut health program. So then I just defaulted back to the nutrition program that I normally follow. So that's gone really well. I am in the process of completing a workout program that I am loving. It's just 4 days a week, only 30 minutes at a time. It's no impact, which means no jumping. But I am dripping in sweat every single day in those 30 minutes. I'm not even kidding you. It is amazing. It's been such a good program. So I'm feeling really good with that. And then most days I take the dogs outside and we go for a walk. It has been phenomenal as far as my own health and fitness journey has gone. And I'm so thankful for that. But it's because I've been very intentional. I put those goals right here on my vision board. They are goals 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all about me. All about me and my own personal journey, because that's a priority in my life. So the only goal that I didn't mention is my personal development. And most days I do like a 5 to 10 minute warm-up ride on my stationary bike before I do my workout. And so during that time, I will read my personal development. I've also been trying to make it a habit to read at least 30 minutes of fiction every single day. And that is something I love reading fiction. Instead of watching TV, I used to be a major TV watcher, but I realized I didn't feel very good after I got done with it. I didn't feel rested. I just felt like I kind of like had shut out the world for 30 minutes, an hour, a couple of hours. And then as soon as the TV went off, it was all of a sudden like everything came rushing back in. Whereas for some reason, when I read fiction, I feel so rested and just like peaceful. And that to me, if I'm using that time to gain rest and just to feel better, I need to be doing the things that help me feel that. So all of those I feel like I've been doing really, really good with. Next one is my Bible time. Again, that is a personal goal of mine. I've been doing great with that. This last week at church, the sermon was all about like how to study the Bible. I will actually link it in the description box below because it's a 2-part sermon. So last week and then this upcoming week, actually, it's all about how to study the Bible and gives you step by step of how to do that. So if you're somebody who feels intimidated when it comes to reading the Bible and all the big words and all the things, our pastor absolutely touches on all of that. So I will link that in the description box below because it is so, so good. At least the first part was. I haven't watched the second part yet. Next goal is doing my weekly videos here on YouTube. And I shared this in my last video, but I am focusing on quality over quantity. And that is just, I feel good about that. I feel good about that, and I'm going to stick with that. Doing my TPT. So that is something that has slightly taken a back seat again, but I did make this entire awesome, I'm bragging on myself, but this awesome like spaceship or space themed booklet for my niece to use because we went on vacation together. We rode an airplane and it was Velcroed, like laminated pieces. Like that is what I used to do as a teacher. I love those sorts of things. And I created that. I think it had like 20 pages and there were different shapes, stars, different things, the clip art that I've created, like all of that was kind of included. And I'm actually planning on putting that up in my TPT store as well as on Etsy so that people can buy that and they can assemble that for themselves. So while I haven't made a ton of progress actually posting on TPT, I did put a ton of work and a time and energy into making that booklet, and I feel really, really proud of it. And my niece loved it, which also just made me feel so good. So that's going well. As far as subbing, I have been subbing anywhere from 1 to 3 days a week ever since I started, and I'm loving it. I love the half days. Not many teachers do half days, but I have gotten lucky and I have picked up quite a few half days. Actually, at this point, I think I've subbed 8 or 9 times, and every single time I've subbed has been a half day. And I've been in different age groups, anywhere from preschool up to high school, and it has been wonderful because I'm able to work my own personal business in the morning and then I can go sub in the afternoons. And so I've still got a couple of hours that I can put into going and subbing. It's filling my teacher heart, but I also have the time to work my own business, run errands, help my husband, do those sorts of things in the mornings. It's just worked out beautifully. So I have been loving getting to do that again. Truly, if I could have bumped down from full-time teaching to working as a part-time teacher, I don't know what that would have looked like, and obviously that doesn't really exist, but I probably would have never stepped away from the classroom because I just realized that I love getting to do different things. I don't want to do the same thing every single day. And I think that that's why I constantly am choosing so many different endeavors between having a YouTube channel, working on a TPT store, you know, subbing now, working my health and wellness business. Like all of those are different things, but they're similar enough and they definitely fall under the things that I enjoy doing and they fill my creativity heart. And so I just love it. So subbing has worked out very, very well for me. Next thing is do some fun fall activities with my niece. And then on Fridays, we spend some time with some other gals that have kiddos. And so that's been going well. We did farmer's market a couple of weeks ago. Tomorrow, we're going to do some fun stuff with friends. Next week, we're going to, if you are local or know anything about Branson, Silver Dollar City, if you've ever heard of any of that, we're going to go do that next week because they decorate their entire grounds with like tens of thousands of pumpkins, if not hundreds of thousands of pumpkins, and they just have it all set up for fall and it's just beautiful. So we're gonna do that next week. So definitely doing well on that. And then the final goal that I have on here is my own personal health and wellness business. I went to a retreat, helping others get started in this journey and all of that. So I am feeling so good about September. I cannot believe that it has blown by, but a lot has been accomplished. I feel really, really good about it. And I'm just excited for the rest of the year to come because I've kind of decided for myself that between basically October 1st and Thanksgiving, I'm gonna give myself almost 2 months, not quite 2 months, but I'm just gonna really be dialed in for the rest of the year, being very intentional with the goals that I'm setting for October, for November. In December, I usually kind of become a little bit more lax, being my own boss, but I really want to set up some systems and get some things going and in place so that I can just feel really good finishing out 2023 and starting 2024 super strong. So I am coming to this because I looked at my yearly vision board and I was like, look, we've made some really good progress on some of these things, but we've got a ways to go on others. You've got 3 months. What can we do with these 3 months? And so anything that I didn't feel like mattered anymore or was as important anymore, I took pen to paper and I crossed that out. But the other things, I circled them and I am ready to go. So my next video will be my October plan with me. Make sure to check that out so we can talk more in detail about the goals that I have for October and kind of the rest of the year. But thank you so much for being here. I hope that your September went incredibly. I would love to know how it went. Did you achieve any goals that you set? Did you struggle with some? Because it's okay to admit that too. And honestly, admitting when we struggle is just as important as admitting when we see success, because that lets us know and gives us kind of that gut check of like, okay, this is where we are, this is where we're going, these are the goals that I want to set, this is what I want to achieve. So thanks for being here. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and thank you so much. We will see you in the October plan with me. See ya.